Okay, so good day everyone. So this lesson is our week 3 for our management. So this lesson focuses on onboard training and drills. So plan to correct crew deficiencies in the use of emergency escape breathing device and portable fire extinguisher. So these are practical life-saving and firefighting tools that we use on board ship. So these are critical life-saving and firefighting tools. So the plan follows as the SOLAS Chapter 2-2 Part E, so which emphasizes the equipment alone is not enough to mitigate the fire, but the crew member must be competent and ready to use it correctly at all times. So for our learning objective, so by the end of this lesson, you will able to prepare a proper onboard training drills planned when crew members are found deficient in using EEBD and portable fire extinguishers. So basically, this lesson will going to prepare you on different things about EEBD and knowing that the use of EEBD is very important, not just because you undergo training, but you know how to properly introduce this EEBD for your crewmates to show that you are competent. So this means you can identify the problem, plan corrective trainings, conduct drills on board ship, and ensure that the compliance of the SOLAS requirements. So first, the definition of training deficiency. So a training deficiency happens when a crew member does not have enough knowledge or skill or confidence to correctly use this safety equipment or perform emergency duties. So for example, if a crew member cannot properly done a EEBD during a drill, so that is already considered a deficiency on board. Merong mga inspectors na sumasampa sa barko and you will for example sa US 'no, when I was a Navy 'no, we tried to done a EEBD in just 2 minutes just to perform to the inspectors that we are capable and we are competent to use the EEBD. So, I hope during your first seamanship you already donning the EEBD. So, again, the background of this scenario is it is a real operation. So, deficiency are often discovered during the fire drills, internal audits, or port state control inspection. Just like what I've said earlier, that I've undergone this port state control in the USA, so we perform this EEBD. So, for example, a crew member may wear the EEBD incorrectly or select the wrong fire extinguisher. So, this finding shows that the training on board is not effective enough, meaning that you have already taken a drill or training on board, but it is not efficient as you done it because you don't know how to use EEBD or you're not knowledgeable on which fire extinguisher you're going to use. Again, in order for that to mitigate, no, we have the safety implications of the deficiency. So for our safety implication, if a crew member do not know how to use the emergency equipment properly so the consequences can be fatal. Kasi puwede kang makapatay kasi, we use this EEBD for the life-saving apparatus. So this one, if you done it properly, it can be fatally. So during a real fire, there's no time to study instructions. During the fire you must be able how to, respond immediately. Hindi yung mag-aaral ka pa on how to proper done the EEBD. That dapat right away you know how to done it properly and just to rescue the person or the crew member or the ship that you're going to. Kasi, there's no time to study the instructions. So, incorrect actions may lead to smoke inhalation, puwede mo ma-inhale yung smoke, and fire spreading panic. So, serious injuries or even loss of life can be happen. Again, the application of this SOLAS regulation, no, Chapter 2-2, so the internal rules for the fire protection detection, this firefighting and escape. So all ships must follow these regulations to protect lives on board ships. So the ship and the marine environment also as well. And what is the definition of the operational readiness? Pag sinabing operational readiness means that the fire safety equipment is working well and maintained. So easily accessible and that the crew members are trained and confident to use it. So confident to use it anytime and anywhere. That's where the emergency will going to happen. So environment without the trained crew is considered as unsafe kasi meron nga tayong equipment but you are not able to uh, or you're not competent enough to use and how to properly done it, still it is unsafe. So for the chapter 2, SOLAS Part A, the overview is it focuses on the operational readiness and maintenance of the equipment. So this means this fire safety system must be continuously maintained. Even if we just use it every drill, no, it must be properly maintained because maybe during the time of the emergency and if it is not use it or if it is not being maintained, the accident will follow. So again, the crew members must undergo regular training and drills to stay competent. Sabi ko ano, if you're not familiar with the drills, tendency you're not competent and you're not confident. Doon pumapasok yung panic just like what we've talked earlier, no, the panic attack. So what is the safety management system? So this safety management system, it required under the ISM code. So it is a documented system that guides the ship safe of ship operation. So in which it is includes the procedures for training, drills, emergency response, and the reporting deficiencies and continuous improvement of the crew member. So that is the safety management system. So it is a documented system that guides the safe ship operations. So if you want to know about the safety or the ship operations, you must read about the SMS of the company. Nandiyan yan, meron ganyan sa barko, no? Makita nyo, you must be familiar with the SMS of the company. And what is the responsibility of the company? So the company must ensure that the crew members are properly trained and familiar with the emergency equipment. So when deficiencies are identified, so the crew or the company must make sure that the corrective actions such as the additional training for the crew member are carried out without delay. No, pag napansin ni company na that the one of the officers are not yet competent, he must take action. The company must take actions and they must make sure that the crew or the officer must undergo a training in which he must competent and confident uh, how to perform in case of emergency. And with that, what is the responsibilities of the master? So si master, he, since he is the overall responsible for the safety of the vessel and its crew members, so this includes the ensuring that the drills are conducted. Magkakaroon ng drills on board. So this includes the crew members are competent as well and deficiencies are corrected. Kung nagkaroon man ng deficiency yung isang barko, it means it needs to be rectified and corrected and training activities are properly recorded on board. And not only the master have their responsibilities pagdating sa barko, also the officers. So the officers play a key role in training. They conduct the familiarization, demonstrate the correct equipment use, and supervise drills and observe that the crew performance and report if there's a deficiency to the master, no? If napansin nila that one crew member are not uh, cannot be followed or not yet not fully familiar with the drills and trainings, they should rectify it and they should focus on that crew member because that crew member may can cause accident on board ship. And since we are talking about the EEBD, what is the EEBD? So I know you have a uh, idea on EEBD since it is your second year, no? I guess on your first year it is already introduced with you in your seamanship. So this EEBD, it is an emergency escape breathing device. No? It is a portable breathing apparatus that provides a short supply of breathable air. Meaning, short span lang siya. Hindi niya ah, sususte hindi niya masu-sustain yung oxygen na kailangan ng body niyo for the long period of time, no? It's just only for short supply of air. So its only purpose is to help a person escape from the smoke-filled or oxygen deficient spaces during fire. Meaning deficient, kulang yung oxygen, not enough oxygen. So that EEBD helps to supply those kulang. Hindi sinasabi na isu-supply niya yung buong air, yung kakulangan lang ng air na wala because of the presence of smoke. Again, it is only used for short period of time. Kaya ano nga ba yung purpose ni EEBD? So its main purpose is to escape. Only for escape, not to sustain the lives, no? Only for escape. Kaya short period of time lang siya pwede mong gamitin. So, not firefighting or rescue. For example, if smoke blocks your escape route in the engine room, so the EEBD allows you to breathe safely while evacuating. And once that EEBD finish, no, naubos na yung laman ng oxygen niya, and hindi pa kayo nakaka-escape, meaning you have no choice just to remove it and ala na, no, patay na kayo nun kasi, hindi na kayo masusuplayan ng air. So, make sure that before pa maubos yung laman ng emergency escape breathing apparatus niyo, naka-escape na kayo. Because EEBD have its limitation. No? Ano ba yung, limitation ni EEBD? So, EEBD have limitations. They provide air only for a short period of time. So, offer limited protection from toxic gases. Limited, meaning hindi siya unli, limited lang. So, limited protection from toxic gases and must never be used for firefighting or entering dangerous spaces. Bakit? Because it is only being used for escape, no? From the word itself, no? EEBD, emergency escape. It is only being used for escape, not for firefighting and not for entering enclosed spaces. So what is the common deficiencies of the EEBD? So the common deficiencies of EEBD, their common problems is include wearing the hood incorrectly. Yung mali pagdaan ng hood ng EEBD. So forgetting to activate the air supply, isa pa rin 'yan, panicking, masyado kang nagmamadali, tendency hindi mo na alam kung paano mo i-navigate yung paggamit ng EEBD. Also, not knowing where EEBD is located. Meron ngang EEBD but you're not familiar with the locations of the EEBD. So, again, kasama sa familiarization 'yan, when you got on board, you have 24 hours to familiarize yourselves with the safety equipment on board ship. So again, this EEBD can save your life in case of emergency. So these mistakes can lead the person or the EEBD useless. Now meron nga siya but it doesn't serve its purpose because you don't know how to use it or you don't know where is the location of the EEBD during the emergency. Dahil diyan, para malaman mo, you must have a familiarization training. So, familiarization training includes the training must ensures the crew members rather ensures that where is the EEBD, its location, and you must understand the markings. Siyempre yung proper marking 'no, na makikita niyo din kung, etong marking pala na 'to, ito yung EEBD sign 'no, and inspect the device and how to done it correctly and understand its limitation. Again, its limitation is only for escape. You cannot use it for fire and you cannot use it when you're going to enter a enclosed space. Then we have the demonstration. So the officers should demonstrate the correct procedure step by step, uh, from removing the EEBD from its container and to activate its air supply and donning the hood properly and evacuation or evacuating safely. And individual EEBD hands-on practice. So every crew member must personally practice using the EEBD. Uh, builds confidence for you when you practice using EEBD, no? And your muscle memory helps you to remember which is the critical during real emergencies when you are in a high level of stress. You tend to forget how to done it, but because of the daily training or drills that you are undergo when you're on board, it helps your muscle memory to remember how to properly done the EEBD. Then, not only how to done the EEBD, we have also how to uh, respond during fire drill. So, what is the definition of fire drill? So, fire drill, it is a planned exercise where crew members practice responding to a fire emergency. So, it includes the communication, the equipment, how to use the equipment, the evacuation itself, and the coordination as required by the SOLAS. Then we have the portable fire extinguisher, which is commonly used during fire. No, so these portable fire extinguishers are designed to immediate for a small fires, but it cannot mitigate the large scale. So they are not meant to be used on a large scale of fire or uncontrolled fires. No, yung mga sobrang laki na. No, it is useless kahit na sabi mo meron kang portable fire extinguisher, but the fire itself is much enough than the portable fire extinguisher. It is still useless. So, but for stopping a small scale, it is used. It's being used, no? For the early stage of fire, yung talagang kakasimula pa lang. So, what is the importance of the fire extinguisher training? So, the training, it ensures that the crew members can choose the correct extinguisher, approach the fire safely, and apply the correct technique without putting themselves in danger. When you experience the training for your third year, no, you're going to undergo the basic training. So in this basic training, you will experience how to use the different kinds of extinguisher during fire. And they will explain to you on how it done it correctly, how to mitigate the fire, and how to make yourself safe during fire. So, what is the definition of fire classification? So, fires are classified based upon the type of fuel involved. So, understanding fire classifications is important because using the strong fire extinguishers can make the fire worse. No, baka mamaya you are using water, but there's a oil on fire. So, in case imbes na humina yung fire, lalo mo pang dinagdagan yung flame niya kasi it is not the proper uh, types of extinguisher that you need to use during that kind of fire. So, what are the different types of the fire extinguishers? So, the common crew members must understand that we have different kinds of the fire extinguisher. We have the water, the foam, dry powder, and CO2 extinguisher. So where to use them and their limitations and the dangers of incorrect application, especially on electrical wires. Ano nga ba yung nagiging common extinguisher deficiencies during the fire, no? So typically, the deficiencies include choosing the correct or the wrong, rather wrong extinguisher, standing too close to the fire, no? Mali din yan, and incorrect handling and not following the pass technique, no? Which is the pull, aim, squeeze, and the spray. That is the pass. So for the pass, we have the pull the aim, no? Then aim the base, squeeze the handle, and sweep side to side. So that is the pass technique. So you need to pull the pin of the extinguisher, then aim the base, no? Yung base ng fire. Then squeeze the handle, no? Then sweep side to side yung pinaka-hose nyo. So with that, the Pass stands for the pull the pin, aim the base, squeeze the handle, sweep the side to side. So this technique ensure that the effective and safe firefighting. And then we have the practical fire extinguisher training. So for this, crew members participate the controlled practical exercises using the training extinguisher. So this helps reduce the fear and build confidence for the crew and improve reaction during the fire. Kasi meron na kayong idea eh. So tendency you're not clueless kung ano yung dapat nyong gawin. And what is the corrective training plan? So for our corrective training plan, it is a structured response to identify those deficiencies. So it focuses on the specific weakness and uses this weakness to targeted the instruction and practices to restore the competence of each crew member. Then, meron naman tayong training objectives. So for our training objective, its main objective is to improve the knowledge or enhance the practical skills to ensure that correct equipment usage and maintain the compliance with the SOLAS and company procedures. Kasi lagi tayong magfo-fall sa SOLAS kasi again, the SOLAS are the one who is responsible for all of the safety that we are implementing on board. And of course, not only the SOLAS itself, but the company procedures also include the SMS. So for our training schedule, no, it is training should be begun immediately after the deficiencies are being identified. Dapat mag-undergo ng training about those deficiencies for refresher training and reassessment to ensure that the competence is maintained over the time. So what is the definition of the emergency drill planning? So for the emergency drill planning, it involves the creating to practice their duties. So test need to test the equipment, your readiness, and you have to evaluate your response effectively. So let's combine the fire with the EEBD integration. So during drills, stimulated smoke conditions are used to crew members to practice locating and donning the or using the EEBD. So while evacuating affected spaces safety. So with this fire drill with extinguisher integration, no crew members practices firefighting correctly because they know how or you know how to use the fire extinguisher and you're undergo the supervision to ensure that safety and correct uh, technique on how to use. We have the again, we have the pass technique, no? Kung matatandaan nyo, we have the pass technique which is pull the pin, aim the base, squeeze the nozzle, squeeze the handle, and sweep side to side, no? Don't forget that one. So for monitoring and the performance evaluation, so officers carefully observe the drills to identify the correct actions, mistakes, no? Siyempre, there's always a mistake during the drill, no? And that mistakes is there's a room for improvement because without those mistakes, hindi tayo matututo, no? So, unsafe behavior and areas needing for improvement, no? Kasi hindi puwedeng perfect lagi. Lagi dapat merong makikita kasi if it is perfect magiging compliant ay magiging ano tayo, complacent. Kumbaga parang, madali lang 'yan 'no. But during the emergency, we don't know what we're going to happen. So you must know how to observe what went right, what went wrong during the, drills. Then we have the feedback and coaching. So dun nalalabas yung what went wrong, what went right, no? This feedback after the drills, no, immediate feedback is given, mistakes are corrected, good performance is reinforced, and crew members are coached to improve future response. Huwag kayong magagalit if someone are correcting you or someone is trying to tease you na ito yung dapat gawin or ano, no, because that someone is willing to help you, no, in case of emergency, don't get it wrong, no, kasi they are there just to help you. And kapag natulungan ka na, puwede mo rin kasi matulungan yung buong, vessel 'no, kasi you know how to respond correctly. So, for the definition of training documentation no, training documentation, kasi every time we have training and drills, it is being documented. So, it includes the reports, the attendance kung sino yung participate, the assessment, and the corrective actions. So, these records serve as the proof of compliance no, magkakaroon tayo ng compliance that we undergo this training and our drills during audits and inspection. So, malalaman nila na, okay, they done this, they, follow the procedure, the interval of this, training, kaya kailangan natin ng records for that, or documentation for the training. Then we have the follow-up assessment. So these follow-up assessments, to confirm that the crew members are correctly and confidently use the EEBD and fire extinguishers without any supervision of the officers. So siyempre, since we've done this, we have this continuous improvement. So regular or the training programs are continuously reviewed and improved based on their drill result and inspection findings and incident reports and changes in the regulation. So safety culture, no? We must have a safety culture. It means everyone's on board, our follows and procedures and practices actively in training and look after one another. No? Just to summarize, in conclusion for this, effective onboard training and drills are essential to correct deficiencies and ensure operational readiness to comply with the SOLAS and protect the lives of the ship and the environment and also your life as well, no? Again, this topic reminds us that not not all of us who undergoes training doesn't need to undergo training again, no? It is a lifelong knowledge that we need to instill on our minds that this training can help us to stay alive on the vessel, no? So if you have any questions and clarifications regarding to our topic, don't hesitate to raise your virtual hand and we can entertain your questions uh, right away, no? So again, thank you again for your listening and have a good day, no? And wait for the instruction for our G class for our follow-up activity. Thank you.